All right, so the importance of customer lifetime value in today's economy. So first of all, CLV seemed like gravity, right? Most companies, most people from the companies, they were investing a lot of effort into building mathematical models, into taking into consideration the distance between transactions, contractual, non-contractual, and after that, they were raising their shoulders and they thought that there's nothing else to do. We just need to track it. But guess what? Just looking at the data is not going to move the needle on the long run, because if you think that CLV is like gravity, you're wrong. I mean, it is like gravity in the sense that it's working like gravity, but it's my keyboard is not working and I can't play with the visuals. However, some people are ignoring it and most are aware about it, but everyone is affected by it. So any company out there is affected by the customer lifetime value. But let's face it, at this moment, the future is not what it used to be. So even though some people within the companies are tracking it, are looking at the customer lifetime value, the miracles are not happening out of the blue. So in order to improve it, we must take action on it. So in order to take action, we need to understand the context, right? And the context is not looking so bright. So the customer acquisition cost are through the roof. So first of all, that's the level, that's the level of the game. In the e-commerce acquisition game, we have easy, medium, hard in 2022. And that because post-pandemic, a lot of competitors, the big players are getting into the game, and it's clear that in order to acquire new customers is way harder than it used to be. So another thing that's happening, there is low to no internal alignment. So companies are not looking at the same things, right? So we have those silos, the marketing team, they are blasting people, while the customer service, they don't know what's the journey of the customers that they are handling tickets from. And then the fulfillment, and there is all this mess, because it's one thing to have a team and it's another thing to have a group of people. And that's happening due to the fact that e-commerce is still work in progress. So we are far from seeing the e-commerce. And that's, if you consider what's happening right now, we have those different perspectives. And if you don't know the rabbit duck illusion, you might want to take a look at it. Basically, depending on how you look at things, you can see a duck or a rabbit. And that's happening within the organizations as well, because we don't have an integrated approach. We don't see the whole customer journey. And the CMOs are seeing something, the CEOs are seeing something, while the CFOs are seeing other things. And in order to align everyone, we need to have the customers be present at the decision table. Another thing which is happening, the context. Customer service teams are rather reactive than proactive. So what does it mean? That means that they are handling tickets as they come, but they are not aware about what are the real needs of the customer. There are a ton of companies which are sending those stupid NPS questions and then they don't do anything about it. And what's more frustrating is that you are being asked, how was your experience? You put it over there in your words, and then the company doesn't say anything back to you. And the number one reason, as we can see here in this research from the Forrester research, 68% of the customers which are leaving a company are leaving it not because of the competition, not because of the product services, not because of the dissatisfaction, initial dissatisfaction with your service, but because they think that you don't care about them. So that's what's going on at this moment. Another thing which is happening, the data analysts are just data miners. So there's a huge difference between looking at the data and asking yourself how to extract the data, how to look at the data and what happened. And then what's getting noticed, there are pure things, the data teams are another silo which are throwing some numbers to the other teams that basically can't do anything about it. So we need more people which are understanding the difference between the data and the insight. So the data analyst mentality means to leverage the data, why it happened. So we need context, like it doesn't matter if the revenue was 1 million last month. What it matters is that it's 12% down than last year, adjusted with inflation, and it's less than 22% on the best brand that you have. So basically the trap of the analyst, as you can see over here at this guy. They can either go too granular, either be trapped in analysis, paralysis, or they can be lost in the data. So that's what's happening on the data side of things. Another aspect is that the companies are posing as being data-driven, which they aren't. So only a third of the marketers are comfortable on the data that they have within their CRM systems. And that's very, very big. Only 6% of the decisions that a company makes are actual data-driven. So mainly, if you look at what's going on in the economic environment, that means a lot of opportunities is out there. However, there's another problem, that the marketing teams are hypnotized about the ad networks. And what they are doing is that they are putting the equal sign between customer acquisition and growth, which is kind of true for some business models if you sell wedding rings, but it's not that true for other business models like groceries, like fast-moving consumer goods, cosmetics, where the purchase frequency is so important. So it's not only about acquiring customers, but keeping them. And as we can see over here, beautifully stated here, an illusion shared by everyone becomes a reality. So the reality in the e-commerce is that we are being trapped in an old way of looking at things, which means it's all about acquiring customers. So another thing that it's important here, there is not only about the acquisition. There are 7 dominant numbers. We have traffic, conversion rate, and customer acquisition cost together with the AOV, average order value. That is for the average marketers. That's what they are optimizing for. But there's another thing which is called the gross margin. So if you are not profitable, who cares if the conversion rate is up? Who cares if the traffic is fantastic, if the company is losing money, right? And then the great marketers are looking even way below. So they are looking at the purchase frequency and customer lifetime value. And that's why we are here at this event. So in order to change things, we need to understand how fast can we change. And if you are here, congrats, because that means you do care about a very impactful dominant number, which is the customer lifetime value. And we have over here this graph. So we have the time, we have the pace, the pace of life of the change, right? The rate of the change in the environment. So we always need to be ahead of the things. Otherwise, we will fail. In order to do this, we must learn, we must adapt. And there is this shift happening right now. There is this transition from clicks to relationships. And that means it's time for the CLV revolution. And that's why you're here, to understand how to improve the customer lifetime value. So the things that you must improve are these 3 pillars, right? So in order to improve customer lifetime value, you have to improve what the company says, which is marketing, what the company sells, which of course are the products, and then what the company does, which is customer experience. How you are wrapping the product, in what kind of experience you are wrapping the product with. So to achieve this, there are these 2 main paths. First, you need to diagnose the problem. You need to understand how happy are your customers, who are the best ones, why they are buying, why they are churning, what would make them buy again. And after you understand that, it's time to engage them differently. So you can orchestrate different relevant emails. You can acquire different customers which look more like the best ones. You can push the products that are making your customers more sticky. You can prevent churn. So those type of things can happen only if you have the data, if you have the clarity. And the good news is that these are changing, right? So these type of methodologies around customer value optimization are actually working. And we can see over here some examples from the customers that we had the honor to work with in the past few years. The turmeric company, a great company from the UK, selling turmeric shots. You can try them out. Outstanding products. More than 39% customer lifetime value uplift. Imagine what this means for the customer acquisition, what this means for the profitability of this company. Then we can look at another example. If my man over there is going to help me, Stefan, yo, he was texting. Then we have Jimber, which is a company from Belgium. They are selling wine replacements. So more than 22% uplift in the customer lifetime value and 13 times more revenue from email marketing thanks to the customer value optimization techniques. Then Biome Health, you're going to see Afif Ganoun from Biome Health. He's going to talk more about it, but they've also had a fantastic impact on their customer lifetime value. And basically what I'm stating here that I've been drying my mouth for years about the impact of customer lifetime value, of customer retention, of focusing on the right customers, until I had this aha moment, right? You see Eddie Murphy, by the way, they have this Going to America movie. It's the second part, but it's way less funny than it was the first part. Anyway, so basically after my aha moment, I realized, you know what? We have to focus on the right customers. We need to understand who are the ideal customers, because thanks to the Rfm segmentation, you're gonna find more about Rfm in just a few minutes. You can see which are your best customers. So one single ideal customer is valuable as much as 376 loyal customers. So RFM stands for recency, frequency, and monetary value. You have to apply this if you're in e-commerce. If you're not in e-commerce, if you are in another business model, you have to look at the customer lifetime value and segment the customers based on that. So recency, frequency, monetary value. Thanks to the RFM segmentation, you end up having all sorts of groups like soulmates, ex-lovers, breakups, whatever. Fact is that according to how recently they've bought, how frequently they've bought, and what's their total monetary value, you can look at their different behavior. So looking at that allows you to also see their contribution to the margin and to the revenue, and what's the percentage of all of those customers. So according to this type of analysis, you can understand, you know what, these are the customers that matter. And once you know that, you also understand that there is this transition going on. So picture this. After the first order, you have new passions, the ones that have the highest revenue. 30 days are passing, 5% of them become lovers because they place 2 more orders. 20% of them place 1 more order. They are potential lovers. 75% of them, they don't do anything about it. So after 90 days, depending on their behavior, they are being relabeled. So they are becoming soulmates if they place 2 more orders, lovers if they have 1 more order, they have potential lovers if they don't do anything, they keep their tag. And if they don't do anything, those 70 out of those 75, they become not to lose because they have a high spending potential. However, nothing is going on with them. So they don't do anything. So after 6 months, the situation will look differently because we have 2 more type of customers, which are the ex-lovers, as the name said, right? If they don't do anything in 6 months, they become ex-lovers. Some of them don't do anything since the very beginning, and those are being transformed into Don Juans, like the customers that used to be good and now they are gone. So basically, that's how it works. Yes, we are going to send the video after presentation. By the way, if you have questions, write them there in the chat, and my team is going to look at your questions. So basically, that's how the RFM segmentation works, right? Soulmates are the best one. They've bought most recently, most often. They have the highest monetary value. So once we understood that, we've transitioned from focusing on conversion rate optimization, which is a tactical KPI, by the way, to customer value optimization. So we've turned the ship around. So how it works, the customer value optimization. We have all the parts within the customer journey. We have the acquisition, we have the conversion, and we have the retention. But as you can see over here, everything starts with the most neglected thing from marketing, customer research. So after you have the customer research nailed down, after you know what, these are my best customers. They buy dog food, and they are coming every, I don't know, 6 weeks, depending on the cat. By the way, you're going to hear from Negar tomorrow from Pet Circle. Outstanding presentation. Don't miss it. So once you know this customer research, you'll be in a position to improve the targeting and the acquisition because you know what kind of creatives to craft, what type of messages to have, and what type of products to push. Then on the conversion side of things, you can also make your website more persuasive, understanding your RFM segments. And then you can also go into the retention side of things, because once you know why the customers are buying and what would make them come back to buy again, you can build a journey which is relevant. Because now most of the email marketers are shooting in the dark with their onboarding email campaigns, with their discounts that they are blasting to everyone, hoping for them to return. But guess what? No amount of marketing is going to fix a broken customer experience. All right, so in a single slide, that's the CVO methodology. I've been doing this for more than 6 years now. It all starts with monitoring what matters, right? We have customer acquisition costs, we have customer lifetime value, we have NPS, etc. After that is the prioritization thing. So you look at the CVO activities and you apply something which is called the e-commerce growth formula. If you want to learn more about the e-commerce growth formula, check our blog. So basically what it does, it's allowing you to see the dominant numbers and to see if I would tweak the traffic by 10%, what's going to happen with my margin. But what if I can improve the purchase frequency by 10%? So in this manner, you can see the impact of the most impactful numbers. After that, if customer lifetime value is the way to go, you do Rfm segmentation. Then you get the insights, which are the best customers. And now that you know who they are and what they've bought, you want to know why they are buying. So that's the time for the qualitative research. So in the qualitative research, you do NPS, you do online surveys, and you do jobs to be done interviews. Jobs to be done, by the way, it's a fantastic methodology. We have Bob Mesta, which is going to have a presentation, a fantastic one about how to apply jobs to be done and to do customer research. Once you have this customer research, you do the ideal customer profile. So you understand which are the most important customers and you look at the buying patterns. Their buying patterns is, yes, I'm speaking at 1.5. That's right, John, but you will have the recording of this. I'm in a rush because I want to finish, because otherwise my team is going to do something very, very bad, but I sing a song at Linka and they will forgive me. All right, so once you understand the buying patterns, you look at the anomalies. You look at things like why the customers haven't bought, which are the products that make my customers the most stickier, what is the jobs to be done of my most sticky customers. And with this type of insights, you'll be in a position to realize, you know what, that's my business, because half of companies don't even know what they are selling and what they are doing. At 1.2x, what they are doing is they blast creatives on Facebook and Google Ads, and they do this type of testing without understanding why the customers are there for them. So once you have these insights, it's time for the customer journey mapping. So you'll be like a movie director, right? You understand when the customers are coming, we plant this type of messages. Once they are having issues, let's do that. So you basically fix what's broken. You get from the as-is customer journey to the to-be customer journey. Once you do this, it's time to strategize. So those are the campaigns. There are this type of ongoing optimization campaigns. You have the acquisition, you have the conversion, you have the onboarding campaigns, you have the prevention, and then you have the reactivation campaigns. So those type of campaigns are across different channels. So on SMS, on websites. So basically, you do like a fantastic map, and you start to do this type of flows. So I have a dream. No more disconnected company silos, no more broken customer journeys, no more irrelevant websites, no more suboptimal customer services, no more short-term website tweaks, and no more boring email campaigns. In order to do so, we need to focus on optimizing customer lifetime value, because that's going to fix almost everything within the organization. And in order to fulfill my dream, we've launched the CVO Academy. So we teamed up with a few fantastic heavy hitters in the space with Bob Mesta, Dennis Yu, Carl Gillis, Ver Geisler, Chase Dimond, and many others. And you have access to the CVO Academy. And by the way, you can win an access to this. You can win a certification. You can win the 16 hours of content so that you become an outstanding pioneer and innovator by knowing all these things if you ask the right questions on the chat. So you can be one of those. And by the way, you can see this GIF over here from Leonard Castro from Conversion Labs. So what I've learned in CVO Academy, I haven't learned in 4 years at CXL. So that's the impact. So one last thing from my end before I'm getting some questions from you. I'm writing a book about the CVO revolution. If you love losing customers, you'll hate this book. That's my book. And I've wrote the first chapter is there. It's a PDF. And it's for you to grab. So you can go on that bit.ri. You can get it. You can read it. You can let me know what are your thoughts about it. And pretty much that's it. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can let me know what you think about the first chapter. Or if you think I can help you out, I'm there for you.